All right, here's the story on the electrical. All right, so this is the master switch. Right, if this is all the way off, that's gonna keep make sure that absolutely no power's on. Now, if you want, when you are ready to have power, which is okay to leave on most of the time, turn this all the way to on. You hit this main switch, right, and then you hit this. And I believe it'll turn on automatically, but if it doesn't, you hit this inverter on off, and that powers this up. And that's important both for charging, if you're at a campground, right? This needs to be on and powered in order for the external charger to work. But also for powering the lights or pretty much any of the appliances on the inside, furnace, AC, etc. Right? And then basically to conserve power, you just only turn these on when you're actually using whatever, the corresponding thing. Now, you're welcome, I encourage you to leave the power on, at least main, this on most of the time. The one scenario where I really highly recommend and hope that you turn off everything, so this to off, make sure this doesn't have any power on it, is if you're going to be leaving the van for longer than like 30 minutes, right, an hour, I would go ahead and, like say you're going out for an 8-hour hike or a 4-hour hike during the day, I would go ahead and turn absolutely everything off, right? And that'll just help make sure, especially if the sun isn't shining or we've got a really cloudy, rainy day, that we're not draining the battery so that we have charge when we need it. If you do end up with a low voltage warning, which you'll know it, you'll have one because there'll be a beep probably about every minute or so. Beep, beep. Right, obviously not that frequent, but right. But if you have that, basically what we came up with, it's usually due to the DC to DC charger, basically what charges the van while the engine's running. Sometimes that can get a little bit overloaded, not often, right? Probably every couple of weeks. So if you have that low voltage warning, it's very simple to resolve. You just reset. You'll notice the paddle on this will be popped out, and you'll just pop it in to reset it, right? And that should get the charger that charges it while the van is running to work again, and that should resolve, allow the battery to charge even if it's a rainy day, nighttime, etc. So, and of course, let us know, right, if you ever do end up in a low voltage situation. We did just recently upgrade the wiring for the DC to DC charger, so it really shouldn't happen, but if it ever does, now we have a much easier way to reset it so you don't have to unscrew this whole panel. All right, if you're at a campground, right, with 240 volt hookups, we give you this cord about 30 feet long, right, and that'll plug right into this exterior charger, right? But say you're not at a campground, right, but you have just right access to a regular household volt outlet, right? And again, like let's imagine that it's super rainy, or that you haven't been able to get much generation off the solar panels, right? And you're not gonna be driving for a bit, and you just want to make sure that the van batteries stay charged up, right? I include an extension cord, right, that's 100 feet long, so plenty long, right? And then this adapter, and then you can charge off of any household outlet. Just make sure, in order for it to charge, this red switch has to be turned on, this main amp has to be turned on, and you want to make sure that the charger light is on, and then you'll know it's charging, especially because it'll say CHG and then the amperage at which it's charging at.